Hey guys, I'm Nathaniel with Archers, and you are listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
For those not familiar with Archers, as I was not, can you give us the 2 sentence elevator pitch?
I mean, there really isn't. It's about basically what you see is what you get with Archers. We really focused more on the music than anything else, and putting on a really fun, engaging live show. We have a lot of really diehard fans, and the ones that we have know us pretty well, and like we're trying to foster that community of just inclusion and making sure everybody feels like they have a safe space to just go hard and have a good time. Like without having to worry about any sort of stupid crap that might happen just because the world is the way it is. You know what I mean?
I think I applaud you, and I think that's very true in the broader metal community as well. But even more so, I think, even in that metalcore community, right? I mean, I think that acceptance and I think that's probably why a lot of people are attracted to it because you could just be you
Yeah, absolutely. I would have to
and
agree
rock out.
for sure.
Um, what's been the response to Never Enough so far, the first single or the single?
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, especially since it came out and we went right on the road with it. You never know what to expect when you're playing a new song on the road, but every single night we have people singing along, and that just makes my heart so happy. It's only been out for a couple of weeks now, well, about a month now, I guess. But it has been killing it. It's been absolutely sick. Seeing Octane pick it up, and then a bunch of other places put it on their regular rotation. A few gyms picked it up too, so that was neat. So if you're working out at like Planet Fitness or Gold's Gym in the next like couple months, you might see us on there, which is kind of cool. But yeah, it's just a random little thing that was kind of cool. I thought it was neat, especially since a lot of times on the road, it's very common to like stop at a gym to like shower and whatnot. So Planet Fitness is
Right.
a big deal for us. So I mean, it's kind of cool, But yeah, it's been great. I'm super stoked with how people have been acting with it so far. They seem to like it a lot, and I'm really thankful for that.
So Never Enough, if you don't mind, it tackles some deep, deep issues, right? So what inspired the band to tackle that theme, and how do you think it connects with your fans on a broader
I mean,
scale?
I think it connects really well. Like, we have never shied away from talking about tough topics. I feel like that's kind of been part of our theme for a long time: mental health, relationship awareness, and situations. Um, I think. Uh, the song is definitely a product of the last few years. I know it was a collaboration between me and my bassist as far as the writing of the lyrics go. And both of us had just in the past few years, we're both very happy now, but in the past few years, we've experienced a lot of toxicity in relationships. Just a lot of that, like, will they, won't, the will they, won't they, and like just the type of relationships where no one's really happy in the end. And it just those things they seem to be like self-feeding beasts,
Right.
that just like perpetrate this nasty cycle of misery. And we just wanted to like kind of do what we do and shine a light on the negative without glorifying it. I feel like that's something that we've always tried to strike on pretty accurately, is just trying to define the negative, put a voice to it without acting like it's something to be glorified, something to be lauded for, we really just wanted to talk about where we were, and I
I
feel like
think
that's what we did.
I applaud you, and I think that's really interesting because I think music, especially hard rock, heavier music, has always had that ability to shine a mirror back on society, right? You had the 60s and then this with the protests in the 70s with, Vietnam and all that protests in the 80s and whatever. I think music has always been, or the music that people connect with maybe the most is the one that, you're shining the mirror back on. I mean, it doesn't have to be about making judgments or even making your stand notice, right? It could be just, this is what it is. And,
Mhm.
maybe someone's not watching CNN. Here's that.
Mhm. It could go both ways too, though. Maybe it's like maybe someone's in that situation and they need a way out, or maybe someone is not that great of a person and it kind of it helps them, be a bit more accountable. They hear that thing and they're like, oh, that's talking about me. So I wanted to be able to shine a light both ways.
So when you're writing these songs in metalcore, you might be doing this way. Are you writing the songs like how they're going to come across on stage? This is a good place for a jump or
Oh,
whatever
sure. I
breakdown.
mean, I I think live moments are so important, you know. Um, I definitely have that thought when we're building songs, especially the instrumentals. I if with the right instrumental, I can kind of work in between that as far as like lyrics go, but like the instrumental has to hit live. You know what I mean? It has to be like it have all the moments because like the lyrics aren't really what's driving the live performance. You know, like a lot of people are there to like because they care about the words and like, maybe they've like
Right.
really become entrenched. But the music, the way the music moves, is absolutely the key to like a good live performance and when we're in the studio and when we're writing, we're absolutely trying to think like, okay, where does a song like this fall in the set? Like, what are the types of like hallmark moments that we need to achieve out of this? Like, where's the big crowd moment? Is there a jumping moment? Is there a sing along moment? What's the vibe here? What is the purpose? What do we want the crowd to be doing for this song? Do we want them crying? Do we want them laughing? Do we want them cheering? Like, and it just kind of like a lot of times it takes shape as the song is coming to be. We don't necessarily sit down and be like, we're gonna write a party tempo song, bouncy. Let's do it now. Start. No, it's more along the lines of like, what are we vibing with? Fuck with things until we get something cool, and then like be like, oh, I like this, and then we'll start assigning a vibe to it. Be like, oh, we can vibe with this way. Play with it. A lot of times we like to work against the song, where like, a lot of times that you'll hear a song and be like, oh, this is the thing that should be there. This should fit there, and then do something different, on purpose to like really try to draw out every little bit of cool shit you can out of that song. So I like doing stuff like that.
So how do you think New Noise reflects the band's musical evolution since New Normal?
So I mean, New Normal was definitely like our statement of what we were at the time. I feel like it was the most cohesive group of songs we'd ever put out at the time. And I still think that it has like the core of our music still is that at its foundation. I think there's definitely a lot more mature elements that are going to be seen on this newer stuff. Like it's definitely a little bit more dialed back as far as like the pop stuff. It's more I don't want to say raw, but it's a bit more rock focused and definitely a bit more mature than some of the stuff that we've done. And I don't think I don't think it's a huge departure either. I think it's more just like, ooh, what if we did Archers through a different filter? We worked with a new producer this time around, and obviously this different filter that we're going to be working through just because we're working with someone else. So like, it's going to have a little bit of a different sound, but it's a whole record on its own. We kind of want it to be set apart, and like where we go next from that, that's entirely up to us at the time. Like we don't even know.
What challenges do you think you face carving out your identity I mean, you've been here in about 10 years, I think, right?
Mhm.
But the metalcore genre is pretty crowded. How do you guys
It's,
how mu-
like image is something that I wouldn't say struggle with, but like it's something that it's definitely on the forefront of our mind because we don't really have the gimmick that a lot of bands do, or like the sex appeal that some bands strive for. Like that's not the goal for us. Like, um, I do, I think image is important, but I also like the way that we've been different, I feel like is one, our music it's not necessarily it's not out of the box. There's nothing revolutionarily groundbreaking about the songs that we make necessarily, but it's good music. It has a good message, and we put on a fantastic live show. And we have this. I don't know. We have really tried. Like I think I mentioned a little bit earlier. Just like we've really tried to cultivate this like following that is just uh almost like a cult of positivity, I guess, like
much needed?
in very loose terms. And I think that has been probably one of our biggest like hallmarks of just what we are is just like we've grown this community of people that care, about each other, about the music industry as a whole, about everything that, anything that we might need them to care about. It's just like these wonderful people, and then they all just want to come together, and that's what we're trying to foster. Which is like, it's not like I said, it's not unheard of. It's just kind of what our bread and butter is. You know, just like trying to make people feel seen and make people feel validated and just being that band for people, you know.
So what do you see, and this may tag off of some of what we talked about, but what do you see Archer's role in shaping the future of modern metalcore to be?
I I mean, everyone's got lofty dreams, I'm sure, but I would like to see us I think we could definitely help people to see that there's more to be done in metalcore than some of the stuff you hear. I mean, so many bands absolutely crush it at what they do, and but they're very strictly this metalcore act. Whereas, like if you listen to one of our records, it can range widely in between the songs and the type of songs that we have. Like whether it's a really heavy song or a pop ballad, you know, you can find both on the same record. And I'm not saying every band can do that, but it's something that's been very important to me to cultivate over the years. And that's where I think I see us taking up the same kind of spaces. Like if this band goes as far as I want it to, and we end up like where I'd like to be, taking up the same spaces like a Day to Remember did 10 years ago, where like they could do whatever they wanted to, you know, like you could hear like Have Faith in Me right next to Second Sucks, you know,
Right.
and
And then they pack the place out.
yeah, absolutely. And that's I want to be able to make sure I get to do that because I'm gonna be bored as shit if I'm 10 years down the line playing the same damn song for an hour and a half. I'm gonna be bored. I'm sorry. I just like that's just how I feel about it. I want to make diverse music and I want to put it all together under the same name and not act like it's different shit. You know what I mean?
What are the rest of the year? What is Archer's touring more?
Yeah. So the fall is still a little bit. There's a little bit of a dark. We don't know exactly what's going to happen in the fall yet, but we are. Looks like we're going to be doing our own headliner in July. It's going to be to promote our new album, our new EP that we have started with the release of Never Enough. That new EP is going to be called Temporary High. It's coming out in June, I believe, and then we'll hit the road in July to promote that. I also know that in June we are going to be hopping over the pond and we're going to be doing a small tour in the UK. It's a mix of small club shows and large festivals like Download, Rock for People, that kind of stuff.
That's
So
huge. Yeah.
we're stoked, dude. It's our first time. I've been there personally, but it's our first time as a band
Right.
going overseas and doing the thing. It's definitely gonna. It's one of those things that we're not going because we're expecting to make money. You know, every time you go overseas, it definitely is a hit to the pocket. But like it's so important to us to finally get over there and to meet all these people that have loved us for so long and have never been able to see us, you know. So I mean, I'm pretty confident on us being able to at least get out there and do the thing and have meet some good people and have some good fun. And that's really like all I care about as far as like being able to go out there and do the thing.
If fans want to find Archers, can you give us all those contacts?
Yeah, the best way I always say when we're meeting new people is to find us on Instagram because you can link to everything else through there. Our Instagram is at Archers US. You can also find us at that handle for most social media, including like TikTok and things like that. Um, so like, yeah, it really just check if you're. I tell people that if they're dialed into our Instagram, they're gonna see everything that comes through. Yeah, just come hang out. Also, we have a really cool Facebook group called the Archers Assembled Super Soft Posting Group, which you can find on our Facebook page, and that's just all of our diehard fans and everyone who wants to like meet up for shows and hang out. So feel free to check that out. We'd love to have you if you're a part of it, if you want to be a part of that.
Thank you so much, my friend. Good luck with the record and the tour. And
Thanks,
we'll talk to
man.
you. Hey, be
Thanks,
well.
you too.
Cheers.
Bye.
Hey everyone, this is Bjorn from Soulwork, and this is Brutally Delicious.
The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Hey there, heavy metal maniacs and kitchen crusaders. I'm Bruce Moore, the host of the Brutally Delicious Podcast, where we whisk up a blend of metal and food to quench even the most discriminate tastes. Have you ever wondered what your favorite metal musician chows down on before they hit the stage to melt your face off? Well, look no further. Here at the Brutally Delicious Podcast, we have cooking segments so brutal they'll make your oven want to headbang. From beefy, bodacious burgers, to spicy, succulent salmon, to kickin' caliente cauliflower, and more. We mix metal and culinary creations, resulting in a feast for the senses.
But wait, there's more.
Hey, this is Michael Monroe. Brutally delicious. Isn't that beautiful? See you down the road.
Each week, I meet with the mammoths of metal for interviews that are spicier than a Carolina Reaper. Get the latest on their upcoming shows, behind-the-scenes stories, and if we're lucky enough, maybe they'll share a secret family recipe or two with us. You'll also want to check out our weekly album and show reviews, where we dice, slice, and serve up our unique takes on the latest metal releases. So grab your leather apron, crank the volume to 11, and subscribe to the Brutally Delicious podcast on your favorite podcast platform. It's sure to be a hell of a time.
Oh, hey there. It's Tim from Protest the Hero. Now that you've seen my junk, I'm going to show you how to make a pizza. And you're watching Brutally Delicious.
What's up, everybody? Max Cavalera, Soulfly, and you listen to Brutally Delicious podcast. Stay mad, motherfuckers. And from the birds, Southside,